through. Okay, great. Well, welcome everybody to the CPC meeting of September 17th, 2025. I'm going to just read the preamble here. Certain meetings normally held at the municipal offices are being held remotely with adequate alternative means of public access, and where required, public participation provided in accordance with House Bill number 58 of the 193rd General Court, which extended the governor's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, MGL, Chapter 30A, Section 20 until June 30th, 2027. Meetings are typically broadcast at Frontier Community Access Television. So thanks everyone for coming. I know Ben is coming. He's traveling and he is our clerk at the moment. So if anybody wants to start taking notes, I'd appreciate it because I'm not sure when he's going to join us. So can I get a volunteer? Oh, Julie, thank you so much. So we'll start by calling the meeting to order at 6:21. Guidelines for business meetings: speak one at a time, follow the Deerfield Code of Conduct, be respectful, considerate, courteous, concise, and please raise your hand before speaking to be recognized by the chair. Members present: Julie Caswell. You got to unmute.
Present.
Peter James. Got to unmute, Peter, and so we can hear you say yes.
Here.
Thank you. Sean Levy.
Present.
Ann Buchanan.
Present.
Frank Leone.
Present. And
Kathy Sylvester present. Guests present would be Andrea Donnellan from FERCog and Chris Harris. So I don't know if people had a chance to review the minutes from August 13th. If anyone has any questions, comments, or additions or subtractions. If not, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Peter. And second?
Second.
All those in favor, Ann Buchanan?
I missed half the meeting, so I think I'll abstain.
Okay. Julie?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Frank?
I think I missed that meeting, so I'll abstain as well.
Okay, and I was there, so I say yes. And then we have Gretchen joining us now. So I do think we could quickly maybe do the elections of officers. I wanted to point out that, well, Ben's not here, and it's possible Ben is not going to be our clerk in the future. He just took on being chair of the Historical Commission. So we may need a new clerk. Anyway, I'll entertain some motions for whatever. What am I?
I'd move that we re-elect Kathy as chair.
Oh, I would second that.
Yes.
Thank you. Any discussion? Anybody dying for this job? Okay, so, let's take a vote. Ann?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Gretchen?
Absolutely. Oh,
And
okay,
Frank?
now it works. Sorry. Absolutely, yes.
Frank?
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate your trust in me. And that's
We appreciate you.
thank you. And I'd like to nominate Julie to be vice chair again if she's willing, unless anyone else is dying for that job.
I would second that.
Any discussion? Anybody else dying for the position? And so we'll take a vote. Ann?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Gretchen?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
And I'll say yes. And sorry, Julie, I never asked you if you wanted the job, so appreciate it. Anybody dying to be the clerk, because we're gonna need a clerk in the future. Anybody willing to take that on? Otherwise, we'll have to rotate it or something, I guess. So Julie will do it for this meeting, but we'll have to all take turns, I guess. So without further ado on that, I think that we should move to the plan, and Andrea, if you don't mind, we could go to the recreation portion just so Gretchen can talk about her comments and suggestions, because she is leaving the meeting early to attend another meeting that she needs to go to, so.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna send a request to share my screen here. That looks like it's been granted. Okay. Oh, shoot. I always fall into this trap of trying to make it bigger and then I hit the add-ons thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so skipping down to the recreation part first. Oh, shoot. I hate this conversion to Google Docs means a lot of the stuff in Word goes away. Okay. So I think we just want to cover, assume people have read it or will read it on your own in detail, but just want to address the things that are questions or comments in the document right now. So I had asked whether or not we should mention that the only town playground is at the school, and Kathy's recommended that we recommend that there's playground space that's available at all hours. People agree?
Anybody have anything to say about that, or sometimes I can't see everybody, so I am trying to flip back and forth so I can see if people have their hand up, but if I don't see you, just chime in.
I was just wondering if it might be all hours. I mean, I have this imagining toddlers out there at 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe every day or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably much better.
During school
putting it.
hours or something?
Yeah, well, I would just say every day, because hopefully people, it doesn't have to be school hours. Like even after school, the playground's not available because they
yeah.
use it for after school.
Okay. And then the list of activities that Memorial Field behind Town Hall is used for by the Recreation Department. Julie had a question whether this is complete, this list.
Are my comments still not showing? I
think they are.
I saw there's one in here. Oh,
There
here.
we go.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
that
yeah, that's for the Sugarloaf Field, that comment. This other one here for Memorial, Memorial is not, the softball is not included
okay.
for Memorial. It is only baseball, t-ball, and soccer.
Okay. All right, and then Mount Sugarloaf Field. It's softball only, okay. So not local sport leagues or,
Not any since I've been involved, no.
okay. Then the question, I don't know, we could delete the sentence altogether, or what's the best way of describing recreation offered at the private schools?
It's
I do
very
know that there's
limited.
some things like indoor facilities, like there are some skate lessons available at Deerfield Academy, but I don't know what else is possibly offered.
I believe the skating lessons, actually, I don't know much about the lessons, but they do have an open skate for minimal hours over through the winter that is available for Deerfield residents.
Okay,
Um,
And that's at Eagle Brook, right, Gretchen?
at Deerfield Academy.
Because Eagle Brook also does have,
They do as well, but I'm not as familiar with that one.
so I asked someone that works there, so it is on Sunday evenings, I believe. I think I put a comment in somewhere about that, somewhere.
oh, here, yeah.
Yeah.
So they meaning
The
Deerfield
Eagle Brook, sorry, yeah, that
Oh.
should be,
okay.
and they have hiking trails that the residents can use.
Okay.
Can residents use the bike trails? The Eagle Brook bike trails?
Yes. And not only residents, they're open to anybody.
Anybody?
Meaning wooded bike trails for mountain biking or?
Yeah, they're forest, in the forest.
Is that open to advertising or is it just tacitly agreed upon? I would wonder about putting it in a public document that Eagle Brook has, public mountain biking. Other than for the locals that know that they can go up and do that. I just wonder if they would appreciate us putting this in our public document. I wonder if they would maybe wish we didn't.
That's a good point.
Yeah, very good point.
I agree, and I think that applies to saying hiking trails are available as well because they're the same trails.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
By
so
the way,
We
Ben-
have adjacent townland with trails that are accessible, and from there, you can go all across the ridge.
do we want to
And
be
Ben-
more
and Ben-
nebulous, offer some outdoor recreation?
I would say not mention it at all.
Okay.
Ben is here, so Ben, are you taking notes? You're on mute, by the way. Ben, can you hear me? Oh dear. I can't, yeah,
I
Ben,
can hear you. I had to unmute. I'm sorry.
yes, that's okay. Are you taking notes?
Here now, I'm taking notes from hiking and biking trails at Eagle Brook are available to the public.
Okay, because Julie has the very beginning of the meeting where we did elections and we elected you. No, we didn't really. I did share with the committee that you may not be the clerk in the future, but
That's May for now, but it's looking like the Historical Commission has plenty to do.
yeah.
Thank you. Did you get reelected?
I did.
Well, I would have voted for you anyhow.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else to add about how we address things at the private schools? Moving to the Tri-Town Beach. Thank you for the clarification on dates or months that they're open. Okay. This question about horseback riding, don't know if anyone can settle it now, but it was mentioned as an activity in the open space and rec plan, so I'm assuming that that's correct, but if that's wrong, we can take it out.
I checked with Deb Shriver today. She's a steward of that land, and she said that yes, horseback riding is allowed.
Okay. Great. Thanks. So, at the last meeting, Lily had said to review and align the objectives with the CPA application. And I wasn't really sure, I looked at your application, but I wasn't really sure how to align as she had asked. So if anybody has suggestions, or clarification on what she might have been looking for here.
I don't know the answer to that question, but I do think that this is a good list of goals, so maybe that's what's important.
Yeah.
Gretchen, did you add to this already?
If you scroll down, I think it should be there, given that I didn't mess that up too. I had copied it from what I thought I had put into this document, which ended up being the document that I had on my own Google Drive. So that under the show more is a fairly lengthy, and it may be far more than anything that and it's very general, but
See.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably need to shorten it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at our application right now. See what Lily might have meant. Anybody, have some ideas on how to maybe shorten the list? I mean, Gretchen, do you have like some highlights that you want to, or some way of, condensing it a bit?
not particularly. I do think that Lily's suggestion from before, if there are just particular things that were in line with our application, it would certainly make sense.
Yeah,
There's it's not necessary to add extra.
I don't see anything here in the application. I'm not sure unfortunately, she couldn't make this meeting, so I'm not sure what she was referring to. So I can't really find that be that helpful on that.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll take a look at this in more detail, and see if I can, make it make it shorter. I guess also, Gretchen, while you're here, the cover of the document, I just took some pictures out of, FERCog has like an archive of various photos in different towns, and there's nothing here that shows like active recreation. So I don't know if you have anything that shows like people recreating in Deerfield. That would be great to add. I don't know if you need permission from any of the people, or whether there's sort of pictures of stuff that you can't really identify the people, but would love to get something that has human beings in the photos.
Okay, we do get authorization from the parents for the kids on the sports teams prior to that if we do take their picture that it is okay for us to utilize it for all sorts of things. So I would imagine that this would fall under that. If we can post it online on the internet, I think it would work in this. I personally don't have any, but I can reach out to Sue and see what she may have, because she's the one who had taken all of the pictures over the years. There must be one or two that she's got that are worthy.
Maybe
Okay.
Treehouse has some PR pictures they have from the big events they've done, because that could look good too.
True. Yeah. I mean, really any picture that we could really even stage a picture, really, as long as it looked recreation-like.
Yeah.
I know Sue has probably taken lots of pictures of the concerts in the park, right?
Right, I'm sure. Yeah.
You're taking pictures before. So maybe just shoot a couple pictures
Yeah.
to if you find something. And I would love to have a picture of the new library. I was going to take one, but there's still a few like, orange cones and stuff sitting around. But that should be gone pretty soon. It might be nice to have a picture of the new library. I have a drawing of the new library, but I'd rather have the actual library.
Yeah. Did CPA money get used for that?
No, they didn't apply for CPA funds.
Oh, okay. I mean, it might be nice to show things that
Oh, that's true.
CPA.
Yeah, but I don't know, the 1888 building isn't looking very good yet.
Well, yeah, there might be some other, there's
Yeah.
like that Civil War statue or something, but
Yeah.
either that or something that encompasses the different, like open space, recreation, housing, and historic.
Might be able to get a picture of the Tri-Town Beach with the new dock. We did.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
I can ask about that.
Okay, so it's not super important, but it's nice to have photos that inspire and set the tone for the report, for the plan. This, I could send you the example that I think Shelburne used some other town that was basically almost word for word, but it was just we're the CPC, we hope CPA is this, and we encourage residents to participate in applying for CPA funds and stuff like that. I'm gonna scroll down and find places where. So we have questions here. Kathy, you suggested to have a link, and that's fine. Yep, that seems like a good word change since you don't have a scoring system. Priorities for the next 5 years. This is something that may get edited once you have a public meeting and get a sense what else are priorities. Kathy, adding a link to the application. Yes, that's a good idea. We'll do that. And I had not numbered all the tables and I waited to do that. Do people agree that tables in the document throughout should be numbered?
Might be easier to find, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have a decision or a consensus on whether there would be a letter to the community?
No, we haven't talked about it. So if anybody has any input on that.
I guess my impression is if it's a good letter, it ought to be in and it ought to come early.
Okay. So we will wait and look at the one that Andrea sends us and.
Yeah.
Are you in a situation where you can take general comments now? I have one general comment for section 3.
Okay.
There seems to be a page that is no longer on at the end of section 3. It was entitled Project Execution. And I thought it was a pretty important paragraph, and then it disappeared from this current edition. It was at the very end. And I didn't know why it was taken out.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is in there.
That was me. I just
okay.
didn't tell you that I did it.
Okay. Let me highlight it. Yeah, I don't know if it got lost in the merging. I don't think there was a good reason for getting rid of it.
Yeah, I didn't have any notes that in my file from our discussion that it was being excised. I know we've talked about particular topical areas that we want to push over to the application and insert various exhibits in the application. But this seemed to be something that you definitely want to have probably in both in some form. But since I had no comments on my notes that we were going to take it out, I just wanted to say, look, I think that was pretty important. So let's not take it out unless we want to take it out.
Okay.
For what it said, so I'd want to read it. Yeah. I
Okay.
wonder, because it does seem like I remember us talking about something that was redundant because it was in the application, but I have no idea if it was this. I don't remember.
Yeah,
In
I'll
the
put it back
application-
in there and I can let you know when it is back. So you can read it.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm gonna run.
Okay.
Thank you, Gretchen. Appreciate your hard work on this.
Likewise to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will look for an email as well to see when we're going to meet next.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so Ben suggested this. Then use bolding to highlight as done in the housing section. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, in the housing section, when it got to I think CPA, let's see, I think this is related to the CPA eligibility. In the housing section, I think it was there used some bolding to bring it out. And so I think it should, if there's bolding in one section, there should be bolding in all sections.
Okay,
I don't think I intended it to be bold. I just wanted to make sure it was seen so it can be put in as normal text.
Oh, this was, it's up in the house, is the housing before this or is it later?
it's later, I think.
Yeah, so if we can look at that, it's not a big deal, but it's just inconsistent.
Oh, this?
Yep,
Okay. Okay.
thanks.
Mhm. All right, so this stuff in yellow is a suggested addition that explains how the Historic Commission weighs in on
Yeah,
whether or
that's
not,
what Ben put in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, you asked me to do that and I just tried to say that that's what we try to follow.
yeah. What is this asterisk having to do with Mass General laws?
It may be just, I don't know where and how to put an asterisk in. The thing is, it might have identified the actual law by number and I can go find out what that is if it's not here.
Okay,
I don't think you need it.
Yep.
I don't think you need it.
Okay, then just get rid of the asterisk.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
okay,
From my point of view, the more important thing was to make sure we identified that we have a world-class library and 2 world-class museums in town.
okay,
And that comes later in my additions.
okay. All right, then the housing. Various graphs. Do you want these to be numbered as well?
Hope you're not asking me.
Well, no, we decided to number tables and now there's a bunch of charts. I didn't know if you wanted to be consistent with that.
Julie, do you have a preference?
Well, I think it's up, if people think it's not really helpful to reading, but I'm come from the school of, you always refer, when you're using the data in a paragraph, you refer to the table that it's in for clarity.
Right.
It would, apply to graphs as well, but it may be too heavy-handed for this document, so.
I don't really have an opinion on it myself, so anybody else?
Well, it sounds like Andrea has more experience in these things. What would you find more readable for the general public? I mean, we're trying to present this. So, I mean, what's the best way in your opinion?
Well, I kind of in the same place as Julie, like normally, I was taught to number all these things, but it sometimes does then come off as like too technical, and is anybody really going to be referring to the tables and figures? I'm not sure. Certainly it does help make it clear when you're referring to something. So I had tried to let go of the need for them in this, but if somebody's asking for it, then maybe it needs to be in there, so.
I would say that if they're not being referred to anywhere other than where they're located, then they're not, it's not necessary. But
I think that's a good point. I would be happy to withdraw that comment.
Okay. All right, and Julie, you notice that there's a dotted line that's not shown here, and this, I went back to the document that I sent to Kathy, and it was in there. So this is a Google Doc translation problem, and the graph really does have a dotted line that shows a trend. So I think I'm just gonna have to wait till we get this fully out of Google Docs. Oops. I'll address that. Things are just typos. Again, we can use the link there. Yep, I can make these edits. Okay, yep, I'll be consistent with that. Okay, and we went through recreation. And then just this Appendix A table that we've gone through before.
And is there a link to that, like in the CPC, because that's gonna change, you know, the projects that we worked on, you know? Not this, well, this too, I guess.
This will change. I don't know. I mean,
But looking at this document here, where we've spent our money,
this goes until the end of fiscal year 20, or to fiscal year 25. We're now in 26. Have you made any new?
no, but I'm
No.
just suggesting, like, so we don't have to change it every year. If you have a link, I don't know, maybe we have to change it every year, I don't know.
Well, you know, since we have a big project, I think changing it every year is probably healthy.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were going to update the plan every year from here on out, or whether you do it like every 5 years.
But I'm wondering is if, you know, are we really gonna be visiting this thing every year? We probably are supposed to. Will the committee continue to do that? I don't know. But if you had a link to the projects, then people could use that in 2 years to see what else has been done, I guess.
Right,
I-
if you guys
like-
wanted to post this kind of table on your web page, and update it there, you could.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't when I included this, I wasn't necessarily thinking you were committing to keeping it updated every single year. This is just a look back in a way that I don't think has been available before. So it's an opportunity for people to see, you know, sort of like, what have we funded over
Sure.
the years?
I like Peter's optimism. I'm just trying to wonder if we're gonna actually.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Well, from the point of view of we're showing this to the general public, if we don't update it every year, they'll feel we're being, falling down on the job.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good goal to have for whoever's on this committee.
yeah. I think it's a good goal.
Well, you know what? Part of the reason that I'm saying that we ought to update is because, and I know that Kathy has spent quite a bit of time talking to Brenda, our town accountant, and I've talked to her as well. And there has been a considerable amount of work to assemble this. And Andrea, you've been involved in the assembly as well. I'd hate to lose that continuity, and it's much easier just to update on a yearly basis than to start over or to go back 6 or 7 years to figure it out. Because these are hard numbers to spread. They just really are, and the statute is a hard number. But I'd like to see them like this, and once they're here, we don't have to argue about them.
Yeah. Well, let's make it a goal and see what happens.
Okay. That reminds me that I did get an answer from Brenda. Where was that in this scrolling thing? Why is it not working? Had to do with how to summarize this expenses. Yeah. So somebody asked at the last meeting, okay, what's this expenditures line and why is it 0 for every year, but here it's 529? And this is the answer. I feel like this is so complicated that I'm not sure we can easily explain it in the document, and then, but we don't want to necessarily not include it. So I didn't know if people had a feeling for whether we just leave it as is and then you have your answer here in case anybody asks.
I think if somebody wants to know, they can ask, and God help us if we can come up with the right answer, but we can try.
Yeah.
I would say, ask the town accountant.
Right.
Yeah, I get, pretty dizzy talking to Brenda, and she's like, she tries to explain this stuff to me.
Yeah, I mean, even reading this, I don't quite understand it myself.
Yeah.
I actually made a copy of this note for further reference in the future because I couldn't quite digest it.
I mean, I do understand, like we allot so much money for a project, it's in our CPC account. Once they take it and put it in the capital account, it's gone from us. The town has the money, but for all purposes, we don't. It's down to 0 because it's been taken and put into the capital projects account.
Mm-hmm.
So the money's there, but
the chart doesn't explain that. That's clearly a difficulty in this table, because the capital account language is fairly new in our discussions. We may be better off just not using this table. And I'm saying that because essentially we have a couple of different definitions going on.
Yeah. Does anybody have any feeling about getting rid of that table, or, I hear Peter's point. Maybe we should just ditch it.
And so, and not only that, the orange listing that you have there has a couple of misleading pieces to it, which aren't a big deal now, but I just make note of it. Go back to that. you just flip down to the next paragraph that was orange.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the problems that we see, and I'm just telling you this now, I'm beyond that. If money comes back in, you can call it clawback or whatever you want to call it. There is a difference of opinion as to whether it goes in the overall leftover account or it goes back to the account from which it was allocated.
Mm.
And I'm raising my hand and saying I don't think it's been done appropriately. Brenda and I had a difference of opinion on this, but there is language with the Department of Revenue that a canceled project has to go back to its source. For example, if you fund a project with $25,000 from the open space account and $75,000 from the designated account, and the project fails, you got to put 25 back into open space. So, and that's I don't believe that's been done, but the number has been insignificant so far. And I'm just saying it so that you folks are aware of the quandary. Right now, we haven't had to worry about it, but if I'm on the committee when we see it come back in, I will raise the issue again.
No, I agree with that.
Well, part of what I originally wanted to do in having a table was there's nowhere else where people could find out, well, how much is in the open space account right now?
Yeah.
Or how much undesignated money is there? It'd be
I think that's
nice for project planning purposes if people wonder whether their project might get funded or whatever. Is there another type of table we could put in here?
Well, you've raised the issue that I'm looking at an encumbrance account, and I think I perceive that to be money we have that is held for an existing project, and now we're being told that there's also a capital account that washes some of this money out. That's where I'm confused.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So maybe just get rid of the expenditures line, because that doesn't really seem to translate into anything that we understand, you know?
Yeah, but it is part of the total balance. So then what do you do?
Well, if it's spent, I mean, if our purpose is to give people an idea of what we have available, that money's not available, right?
Yeah,
And we also do have the FY 2025 information now, so we could add that to this table.
okay. So boil it down to just historic resources, community housing, but then it looks like you're not putting in anything to your open space and recreation accounts on those years. Which
That's because it's spent.
because it was spent.
If we get if we have, 25,000 coming in and we spend 25,000, then the end result is 0.
Yeah, okay.
I think the table's useful, because I think, and I like to bring attention to this paragraph below it that I wrote, that I just want to make sure everybody read it and actually likes it and agrees with it. I think it's really important for this report to give the information about the accumulation of money that has occurred, why it's happened, and then when fiscal year 25 is on here, all of a sudden that accumulation is going to look much smaller because of the 1888 building.
Yeah.
And it gives more of a picture of what has actually been happening with the CPA funds in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with adding that. One of the things Brenda said to me when I met with her a couple of weeks ago was, not common to spend undesignated funds for the purpose of having money available for these large projects like the 1880 building. So I think pointing that out is helpful.
Mhm.
That money accumulating, I mean, I would always think like, why aren't we spending it? But one of the reasons is it's nice to have it when we have a big project.
Yeah,
I think
and you
the
can
only thing,
actually,
it's very important to disclose this stuff. And the only time that it gets stupid is when you can't, we have projects that are, on one hand, you call it reserved money, and the other hand, you call it a capital account money. That's when it really gets screwy. I am 100% in favor of full disclosure of, well, open space has got $75,000 hanging around, and undesignated has 3,600,000. That I understand, but it's the amount that's reserved is the stuff that the encumbrances are where we're getting some difficulties.
So we just maybe take those out.
I don't think it's helpful. I think it just creates confusion.
Yeah, I think you're right.
okay,
Anybody else? Excuse me, while I let the cat in.
so special purposes has always been 0. We can take that out. I think I need to take out the total balance because otherwise people are gonna see that historic resources, community housing, open space and rec plus undesignated does not add up to 1822.
Mm,
Well, I think the
Well,
title is actually
Can I make a
correct.
suggestion? Call it available balance.
It's one of the title is actually correct for what we're saying that we want to show, which would be CPA fund balances reserved for. And so it could start with historical resources and then just do a new total at the bottom, because that would be CPA fund balances in those particular accounts.
Okay.
And that communicates, like we're all saying, that communicates how much money is sitting there and where.
And,
Okay.
and it's available. It's key. This is available money.
Okay.
But it's also the case that in some ways these reserve funds, they keep a minimum for these different purposes, but it's assumed in almost all cases, I think, that the undesignated money is going to flow into, it has to flow into these categories to be spent. So I just wouldn't want somebody to say, oh, I'd like to do a proposal for $50,000, but this reserve's only 25,000. We say this many times in the report, but when you're making a proposal, these reserves are not a cap on how much your proposal can be in a specific category.
Mm-hmm. And you can borrow against future money coming in. Maybe you've never had to do that, but I don't know if it's something.
We haven't done it.
Yeah, let's stay away from that for a while.
Okay,
I don't want to encourage that.
right. That would be complicated even further.
Is a real big fan of that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that is it in terms of the issues that came up in the document. I will work on making those edits and adding back in the project execution subsection, Julie?
Part of section 3.
Yeah,
Just as we're starting to wrap up, I want to compliment you, Andrea, because I think this has come out very, very well.
Yeah,
oh,
thank you.
thanks.
Very nice.
Yes, I think it's a very nice product.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, would you suggest that this be completed, in its entirety, I'm assuming, before we present it to the public? Because we have a contract with FERCog till the end of the year now. And if we want to have a public hearing, I'm just wondering when you think we'd be ready for that.
I think it should still be draft before the hearing because there are things you're going to incorporate from the hearing into the final document. So we can get it into a state where it's like something you're comfortable posting. And then you'll want to have some presentation. I could send you the slides that were done for Shelburne. And if you'd like me to work on it, I can look at the budget and see if there's money to do that. Otherwise, I can work with whoever wants to.
I think Lily would be the person to work with. I talked to Town Hall to see when it is available, and October 8th was one date, but I feel like that's too soon. And October 22nd is another date, which is right before a town meeting, the week before. Meeting was moved, for those that may not know it, to to the 29th of October. It's a Wednesday this year. So how does that work for you, Andrea, if we did that?
I can't do the 8th, but you said the 22nd.
Yes.
I could do that.
How do other people feel about that? Ben says yes. So,
I'll be flying over the Pacific.
oh, Julie. See, would there be someone from open space that could talk about anything that might come up for open space?
Yeah, certainly Andrea Liebson.
So, we can look into that date. I have to talk, have maybe Lily work with you, Andrea, on slides, and get together a presentation.
Okay.
Don't have a lot of hopes that there's going to be many people there. Getting the word out is always difficult, and getting interest to show up is also probably difficult. But we do need to do it. So, anybody have any thoughts about it? Feel free to chime in.
Yeah, I think sooner, once you get into November.
Yeah, we got our applications.
Yeah, we'll have applications, yeah.
We do also, so I think I just I'll get back to you, Andrea, about that date.
Okay.
And we have a couple more things. I know we're running a little bit over, and I've got a couple more things on the agenda, but I'll get back to you about that. You'll make some changes, get you and Lily in touch with each other. Okay.
Sounds good. Do you tend to do these meetings in person or?
Yes.
Zoom? Okay.
The public hearing would be in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Everybody for reviewing the document.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks everybody that put their input into it. I know it's a lot of reading for everybody to do. And Julie is the premier editor. You see so much stuff I don't see. I'm so thankful that you do such a great job looking things over. So. All right. Thank you, Andrea.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Andrea.
So let's take a look at the agenda so I can figure out what's next here.
On the 22nd for our next meeting?
Well, that's gonna be hopefully the public hearing.
Oh, the public hearing.
We haven't got to the next meeting yet. The next thing on the agenda is the CPC grant award draft, which Alex could speak to, if you would.
Yep, happy to. I can pull it up. Sorry, give me 1 second. I realized there were 2 drafts in the shared drive for whatever reason, but I only have access to edit one, so I'll share that one. Let me know when you guys can see that. Look good? Okay, cool.
Yeah. we can see.
I think there are just really some very minor edits remaining. Adding in the CPA category and funding source. Or did you guys want to add in the funding source, unrestricted or reserved, or we could just add in the category if that makes it more streamlined?
No, wait a minute. Trying to figure out what you're talking
Oh,
about.
sorry. This
Oh.
this was a new row, I think, that we added after
So I
the.
think CPA category would be one line and then additional sources of funding.
Okay, we can do that. Perfect. Okay. Does that work for everyone? Any other edits on this page? I think that was pretty much it. And then I think we talked about just matching the same verbiage from that application. Instead of using like committed match or matching funds, because they're not required by any means, just using the same nomenclature from the application about additional sources of committed support. And then the percent and type. Okay. Seen anything else? And then I don't know why there's a space here now. I think it's just formatted oddly, but let's see. So I think the next kind of like bigger edits were this payment of funds. So just payments are made to the vendor after goods or services are rendered. The invoices are submitted to the town administrator and accountant for review and approval. And then the select board has to approve the warrant for payment, and then the town reserves the right to request additional documents. That's just the process we normally do. So I think it was just kind of wordsmithing and clarifying. Brenda gave me her blessing on this, so I think I got that at least.
Great.
That makes sense. And then last thing, Peter, thanks for adding in that sentence at the end about the recorded documents is number 5. So when it's applicable, the recipient will provide the legally recorded documents to the town administrator and CPC chair, and then the certificate will conform to that restrictions are superior to any encumbrances. So I think that pretty clearly. Oh, Ben, sorry, I see.
Should satisfactory be bold?
Well, let me be candid. I've got tongue in cheek because the legal wording is good and clear record and marketable title to the same, free of all encumbrances. But I chose to give us a little bit of latitude there and said satisfactory. We may not like the title.
So
I'll give you an example, Ben, because you raised it. The Melnicks, whom we all know very, very well, have come before us for to contribute to an APR purchase. Walter Melnick bought this particular parcel in a tax sale years and years ago, and it's flipped through at least one family trust. If they were going to a bank to get a mortgage, they would have to have a certificate of title from an attorney to certify that the trust, in fact, did own the property, that it was free and clear, and that the Melnicks had the authority as trustees to execute the relevant documents. So all I want to do is I want to see that we have that opportunity and to see to it that that we're getting good title. So it's we can argue about that later, but I think by putting the word satisfactory certificate of title, we have some wiggle room.
I'm actually fine with that, but I don't see why it has to be. I mean, we talked about, the consistency of text. I just don't think it has to be bold. I think your reasoning makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I don't, it doesn't have to be bold. That may have something to do with the guy that did the edits.
Not me.
Sounds good. All right, so we'll accept that one. And the only other thing I had on my notes was adding in grantee acknowledgement signature and just a notation that they should return a signed copy of the award letter to the CPC chair. I could put and town administrator though, I feel like to be consistent.
Yeah, that would be good, because who knows?
Yeah, sorry, just reading through that. I read it. Don't know why I didn't do that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your work on that. That's great.
Yeah, no problem. Kelly, do you guys want this as an Adobe or do you want to keep it in Word? We could leave it for now and you guys could tell me later when you have one and we can edit that way.
I don't think I have Adobe, so maybe leave it in Word, or PDF file.
Oh, yeah, because you may want to edit the special conditions anyway, or add a section with special conditions, so. Okay, we'll leave it as is and, you guys can ping me when it comes to that. We'll, first year.
We'll try it out and see if we need to make any edits there. Thank you. So is everybody okay with adopting this? This is new. Shall we have a motion to accept? Just to
Will
make
be
it
accepted as such.
second.
Second,
All those in favor will say Anne.
Yes.
Aye.
Peter said yes, Anne said yes, Julie,
yes.
and Ben.
Yes.
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Kathy.
Who seconded, Kathy?
Yeah, who's Julie did. Right?
I did.
So the next thing on the agenda, I want to table that because that was regarding a conservation account. What do we call that? Julie is working with the Conservation Commission about having
A trust, a land trust.
a land trust, is it? Wasn't there another name for it? Julie, you're muted.
Conservation Fund.
Conservation Fund, yeah, different than a trust. A trust was a lot more work according to Stuart Saganor. So why don't we wait and see what happens because you're meeting with them Friday or next week or something.
September 25th.
I'm on a plane, so I won't be on that meeting. So, and then we can talk about that because we only really need to amend the application if we don't go that route with the Conservation Commission. We did talk before about having a CPC banner so that we could put it up for projects that are going on, like the 1888 building. I think I shared what Lily had done a drawing of possible banner, and Julie had brought up some different pictures. I don't know if anyone has any ideas of what they'd like to see on the banner for a picture or anything in particular. Are people okay with spending some money to make a banner? How do people feel about it?
Spend the money.
Yeah. I think it's good. When you drive into Northampton, you run into a project with CPC funding, and I think you should keep it in the public space.
Yeah. So, is there, do we have, anybody have any, preference on what picture is on it? Like, should it be on the top of Mount Sugarloaf? Or Julie, you had a suggestion. I can't remember what it was. For a picture, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, the one that Lily had put in, I think was Mount Tom, so I didn't think that worked.
Be dear, yeah.
The view from the top of Sugarloaf would be great.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts? Everybody agree on that? So I'll
Yes.
ask ask Lily to design a banner with that, and then I will find a way to get that printed up so we can get that on the 1888 building ASAP, even though of course it'll be in construction for a long time. And hopefully eventually we can get a real plaque that's permanent for that. Okay. Let's see what else on this long agenda. Let's see. I think we did the date for the public hearing. We're getting into having to respond to two pre-applications that came in. I forwarded them to everybody. I don't know if people had a chance to look at them. Basically, I need to get back to them and say, yes, these do qualify. Go ahead and do the long form. There was one for the church steeple put in by Alex on behalf of the town to do some work on the church steeple under the historic preservation. And there's one for Julie put in for putting money aside should the Concom decide to have a land fund. They both seem to be appropriate. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I'm a little concerned about the project at the end of King Philip because I think it's town property, and
Also, yeah, that one's not a pre-application, so we can talk about that, but
but Cheryl Risley is a fine person. I've done some legal work for them in the past, and I think her heart's in the right place. But my only concern is that if essentially it's on town property, the town should be a co-sponsor of the application.
I think that's something I have some concerns we could talk about when we talk about applications. That's not a pre-application, but like we're gonna have to talk about that eventually too. I agree with you. So if we don't have any issues with the two pre-applications I mentioned, I'd like to tell the people who are in this meeting right now that go for it, I would say. And then any new business unanticipated. I did ask Chris Harris, since he came, if you have any public comment.
No, I was just trying to stay informed. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to, oh, wait a minute. What's our next meeting? I'm sorry. Because we have the public hearing, but we need another meeting. And I don't know, I do have some information I can share, and I can just forward to the committee, BCC the committee on the CP2 form that I got from Brenda. We can talk about it at some point in the future, just to give people a heads up on where we're at money-wise. And I'm not sure I can tell you off the top of my head. So I'll send that out at some point so we can talk about that. So I don't know, do we need another meeting before the public hearing, maybe just to talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about? I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts?
Now, is this public meeting going to be with the draft plan?
Yes. Get public input.
Would it be at the same time as our meetings or later or what?
That's a question for the committee. I mean, last time we had a public hearing, I think it was at the same time on Wednesday, 6:15. We could do, or 6:30. I think we made it last time. 6:30, most people are able, if they work day shift, to make it. Parents are going to have trouble with kids. So I guess they could send one parent if there's a two-parent household, but it's going to be hard on somebody no matter what time we do it. Now, how do people feel about 6:30? It's okay. So the 22nd, I'll see if the town hall is still available at 6:30. Any need to meet beforehand? I'm not sure there is. We've been working really hard. I appreciate people like this. We never go through the summer, and at least since I've been on the committee, so I know it's been a lot. Hey, but we accomplished something huge. And hopefully next summer we won't be doing this all
Yeah,
summer.
I was just gonna say, I think this plan is gonna be very helpful. just for people in town, but also as new committee members join the committee, it has so much information that will be very useful.
Yeah, and I think, Anne brought it to my attention, like, come on this committee, there's no orientation, nothing. And I realized after that, it's like, yeah, how would you know what you're jumping into? So that's another thing to think about when we get new members. Try to have some kind of way of orienting them.
So
this-
we agreed not to meet before October 22nd. Do we have a date after October 22nd to meet?
Well, we have to, I think we are required, according to, I'm trying to find the application, like, they have to be in by
November 1st, right?
the 1st, and then we, let's see. We are gonna have November 12th, we review the proposals, so, yeah, I would say November 12th would be the next one to review the proposals of applications. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Nobody motioned first of all.
I move.
Thanks. Peter second. All those in favor, Anne,
Yes.
Frank, and I'm unmute Frank,
Yes.
Sean.
Yeah.
Peter,
yes.
Julie,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and Kathy,
Yes.
yes. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you October 22nd. If not before, I'll be in touch.
Thank you, Kathy.
Everyone.
Kathy.
Thank you.